Hi, everybody, and welcome to another Channel 3 sports presentation. Tonight from J. Doyle Field in East Brunswick, it is high school football as East Brunswick meets Sayreville in a Greater Middlesex Conference Red Division game. Hi, Jimmy Allinder, being joined by Charlie King. And Charlie, East Brunswick with a 1-2 record. However, the last game they played was against J.P. Stevens, ranked number 5. East Brunswick had a 14-7 lead at halftime. They lost 21-14. Bottom line, though, this is a much improved East Brunswick team.
A lot to be proud of for that J.P. Stevens game. As you said, they were ahead at halftime, wound up losing 21-14, but that doesn't tell the whole story. I mean, you go to J.P. Stevens, number 1, it's away. So, you know, high school football, you're on the other guy's turf. It makes it that much harder. But I think the performances that they got out of a lot of people, Brian Robinson being probably number 1 in my mind, at 114 yards against rushing against J.P. Stevens, I think, and 11 carries. So that's pretty good production from him, and they had some nice work on defense. They were able to shut Stevens down for most of the game. So I think there's a lot of things to look forward to with this year's Bears team.
Okay, so we see improvement on both the offensive and defensive side of the field. Talk about some of the other players like Mark Mariski, the quarterback, and some of the other players that we're going to see tonight for East Brunswick.
Well, we're certainly going to see Mariski both on offense and defense. Mark is the quarterback. He's not the biggest guy in the world and not the tallest, but he's got as many guts as anybody I've seen. Courage, and he's a leader. He's one of the leaders of this team, along with their center, Adam Grossholtz, who is one of the captains. So they have a lot of talent. You got Bobby Mineta. Bobby's a multi-sport athlete. I love to see him compete because he's in every game all the time. So there's a lot to look forward to with this Bears outfit.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, the opening game of the season was a loss. Right. That was to Piscataway. Then the Bears notched their first win of the season. I think they scored 38 points in a win against Edison. We had the Stevens game last week. In the red division of the GMC, it doesn't get any easier. Although East Brunswick has played a lot of the hard teams this year. Sayreville tonight, 3-0. They have a lot of speed. They have a lot of size. It's going to be a difficult assignment.
It is going to be difficult, and I don't know that much about Sayreville because I haven't seen them play this year. I'll just go back to what I've seen in the previous few years. They've been one of the better teams in Central Jersey, not only in the Greater Middlesex Conference, but throughout Central Jersey and throughout the state. I think this week they're ranked 5th in the home news. 3-0, as you mentioned. Junior Jabby is a name that pops up all the time. I was looking at some of the rushing yards. Jabby had 88 yards and 3 TDs the last time. Now, in a high school game, you got 3 TDs, you're doing something very good. And Mark Poor, 122 yards and a TD and 12 rushes. So, there's some talent on that side, and both sides, offensively and defense. And Sayreville has been one of the better teams, as I said, for the last several years in Central Jersey. So, they got a young man who was a quarterback a few years ago for Sayreville, who is now a linebacker for Notre Dame and starting for Notre Dame.
Brandon Hoyt.
Hoyt, yeah. So that's the kind of athlete they've been getting at Sayreville and been turning out some of the finer players around. So I think it's going to be a challenge tonight, but I think the Bears are going to be up for the challenge.
All right. Well, hopefully East Brunswick will not only take a halftime lead as they did against Stevens last week, but they hold on to that lead and win. All right, we're going to take a break right now. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this. All right, we are back here at J. Doyle Field where we are preparing for the coin toss. I usually manage to screw that up once a year, Charlie. Pronunciation of that, but I'm 1 for 1. Okay. All right, for East Brunswick, captains are Mark Mariski, the number 1, the quarterback. 44, Joe Alexander. 72, Mike McCarthy. And number 62, Alan Grossholtz. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly.
Grossholtz.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And for Sayreville, number 22, that would be Mike Asenza. Number 70. Well, we're blocked so far.
Yeah, we're blocked. It looks like
78.
I can't see the other.
Yeah,
number.
it's
Sorry,
Steve
Tim.
Ike. He's one of the players to look at. He's a center, an excellent center from what I understand. Stands 6'3", 210 pounds.
They got some size over there, Jim.
Yeah, they do. to go with the speed.
Right.
And the last guy is number 57. That is Ken Leon, 5'9", 160. He's an offensive guard and linebacker.
Well, we get a chance here. The officials are assigned by the Greater Middlesex Conference. The referee tonight is Joe Shaw from Wake Forest, Mark Breeze from San Jose State, Pete Cantonese from Trenton State, John Church from Rutgers, and the back judge is Bill Posey, and the clock is official John Krasnowski of Maryland on the clock.
Okay, East Brunswick has won the toss, but they have elected to defer to the second half. So they will be defending to our left, and Sayreville will be receiving. East Brunswick kicking off from our left to right as we begin this game.
It'll be interesting to see who's back there deep for Sayreville on this kickoff. We're talking to that young man from Sayreville before the game, and he was saying, well, I don't know if this guy's going to start or whatever.
Well, things go according to plan. Junior Jabby, number 2, should be back
right,
there.
I would think
and I
so.
guess DeJean Spruill, number 8, is another deep back
right.
that they would use.
He would be back there, and even possibly Mark Poor.
All right.
But,
and your kickoff is what, number 14 is setting
14.
that up. Okay. That'd be Carl Elardo. No, excuse me.
No, East Brunswick.
Yeah. Bean Padriak.
Padriak Bean.
Right. Padriak Bean.
So, yeah, it is 14. All right.
Who returns? He was there last year.
Yep. Yep.
All right, the deep backs are going to be number 27 for Sayreville, Lamar Holmes. And Jabby is back there as the deep back, and Spruill to the far side. Number 10 is the short back, Mark Poor.
Okay, we got in the middle back there is Jabby, number 2. Kind of a pooch kick here. 33 is hit hard.
And that was a purposeful short kick because they didn't want to put it into Jabby's hands. And number 33 took a shot.
Kurt Pocata.
Yeah, and a player for East Brunswick, I think the guy that made the tackle.
Yes, he did make
down.
the tackle. What's 36 or 38?
30, that's number 38.
Must be Bobby Minetta, 36.
No, that's 38, Charlie.
Is it?
Yeah. Do we have a 30?
No, that's Minetta.
Huh. Okay.
Looks like he reached and got. It looked like a shoulder that
okay.
Trainer's working on. Hostler.
It is 6.
36.
Yep.
See this on those East Brunswick uniforms. The 6 and the 8s come together, and it makes it a little difficult sometimes.
All right. He seems to be okay. And here comes Sayreville. Quarterback is number 6, Mark Huff. Your lone deep back. That is Spruill, number 8.
Right.
He's through the line
Quick.
and gets a good surge for a first down.
Ooh. Right to that wide side, and they took advantage of the speed of that back. For
and also
Sayreville.
some good blocking as well.
Yes. DeJean Spruill, that was number 8.
Well, right away you see the size differential on the line, something that Sayreville is going to probably try to exploit this entire evening. Spruill, the lone deep backs. You got two receivers split to the near side. That's the pitch to Spruill.
Spruill, quick.
And a nice run there. You know, Charlie, it seems like even though they don't have a lot of room, they still get a lot of yards.
Yes, because they got that quickness, Jim. 27, Brian Ackerman came up and made the stop for the Bears in a nice tackle, but what do we got?
6-yard gain minimum, right?
Yeah, right. It's maybe 7.
All right, we're going to give them 7 yards on that play, make it 2nd and about 3. And you got to wonder, Sayreville, all they're going to do is pitch left, right, up the middle. This is Huff. And that is up the middle to number 10.
Mark Poor.
Finally brought down. Looks like Alex Danilenko made the initial stop.
Well, the first night I was here against Piscataway, he must have had 2/3 of the tackles. He was in on everything. Danilenko.
5'10", 168-pound senior. Outside linebacker.
what the hold up here is, Jim, is they're looking to see if it's a first down. It's pretty close. And obviously here come the chains.
Alexander calling defensive signals for East Brunswick at middle linebacker. Looks good for a first down.
Yep, Sayreville first down.
So the Bears march down to the 35 of East Brunswick.
The Bombers.
Excuse me, yes, the Bombers.
The Bombers and the Bears.
First and 10 for the Bombers. Give is to Jabby on the right side. He's got some room on a great block there. Cuts it in. And Charlie, I think he's got a first down or close to it.
He's close again. Maybe about a half a yard short. But they're going wide time and time again against the Bears.
What strikes me so far, especially on the outside runs, is that their linemen are able to get out there.
There was a nice downfield block. We didn't catch the lineman number there, but it was a good block downfield coming this way.
That was a great call. East Brunswick expecting a run, and Sproul gets around, and I believe he's in. Yep.
Touchdown. That was easy.
Well, East Brunswick was expecting on a second and short just to have a run up the middle, and left the whole left side here open.
Well, you'd say, why can't they stop these guys from running around the outside? So you move your people outside and they run up the middle. Exactly.
There you go. That's the problem that's presented here. That's a 21-yard touchdown. I believe it is 21. No, I'd say 26-yard touchdown.
26 yards.
Yeah. By LeJohn Sproul. And the extra point attempt by number 86. That's Matt Kenny.
Matt Kenny.
Who puts it through. And it's 7-0 Sayreville with 9:38 left to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, just like to comment that that was number 62, Matt Bodak, who does that long snap. And it's, you cannot believe, if you haven't coached this game, how important that long snap is. Sometimes we take it for granted. It's just going to be right in that holder's hand. And Bodak did a nice job there.
I'll go back to last year. I was observing a game against North Brunswick and Monroe, and the score by Monroe came with 6 seconds left to go in the game, and this made it 14-13.
Right.
And they go for the extra point. Center snap went a little awry, and that was the game.
It's, as you know, it's all timing. The snap's got to be right in the right spot. The holder's got to put it down at the right time, because when that thing is snapped, the kicker is starting his movement already. Mm-hmm. And if the snap is high or low or outside, the ball doesn't get down and it doesn't go through. All right, well, let's go. We got East Brunswick here getting the ball for the first time.
And Sayreville kicking off. That's Jabby, who's going to be with his right foot. Gets a low liner, fielded on a fly. Oh, he gets nailed. Is that number 24?
I'm trying to see, Jim. It was, no, I think it was 84.
84, that would be Aaron Horace. 6'1", sophomore.
Yeah, see, the Bears have a lot of young talent, which certainly is going to grow, and it takes a little time, but...
All right, they're going to start on their own 35, actually 36-yard line. Not bad field position for East Brunswick. First time they've touched the ball. Mark Mariski at quarterback. And a whistle.
That was the Riccio 37.
Okay.
Coached his father when he played here.
Joe?
Tim.
They say offside Sayreville. That must have been lining up in the neutral zone, so
I didn't see any movement at all.
Yeah, a 5-yard gift for East Brunswick makes it first down and 5. Sayreville with a hard-hitting unit here on defense.
Their middle linebacker, 57, Ken Leon, a pretty good sticker right there.
So Ackerman is another setback. It pitches to Robinson. Oh, that was a nice play by Jab. Who was that came up to make that?
Looked like Jabby, possibly,
Yeah.
right. He came up quick.
That was actually number 23.
23, yeah. Roger Kemp. I mean, he came up there like he was shot out of a gun and just stuck him.
So that's a loss of 5, brings it back to the original line of scrimmage, making it 2nd and 10 for the Bears.
Right at that 35-yard line, they certainly want to. East Brunswick can't afford to go 3 and out. They need to run some plays and keep control of the ball so that clock is a friend of theirs.
Risky keeps it, throws deep. Open, number 83 for East Brunswick.
Danny Fessel for a touchdown.
And that's the danger coming up with your safeties to stop the run.
That's it.
And it leaves somebody open, and East Brunswick connects for a touchdown. Right back. That pass play covering about 60 yards.
Well, it was on the 35.
65-yard touchdown. And Bears strike back at 8:29.
And you see what grade you have next to Danny Fessel. 10th grader. Nice pass by Mariski, right on target. Okay, we got 14 on to kick the extra point.
And let's observe what you said, Charlie, about the importance of the snap, the hold. Mariski, the quarterback, will hold the ball.
And let's see if we can pick up the snapper here. I didn't see that number when he went out.
All right, the flag is against Sayreville. I have to believe it's an offside of sorts. And what are they saying?
Illegal substitution.
All right, East Brunswick appears to be, since they're going to move the ball forward to the 1.5, looks like they're going to go for 2.
Yes. What do you think about this, Jim?
I don't know anything about the East Brunswick kicking game. And if you don't have a strong kicking game, like you mentioned, maybe the odds are in East Brunswick's favor to go for 2.
The kicking game is pretty good.
Okay.
But it's great if you make it.
Ritzky keeps, dives in.
As I said, it was a great call. Coach Borden pulling out a string there, and he tugged on the right one that time in the person of Mark Mariski, in for, a yard and a half after the 3 yards after the penalty. So a nice move by Mariski, nice touchdown pass by Mariski. We're going to mention that name a few thousand times tonight probably. And it deserves to be one of the captains, one of the leaders of this team. Certainly an outstanding pass. What was it, 65 yards?
Yes.
And the 2-point conversion.
And I'll tell you, we don't know what the final score is going to be, obviously, but just that response from East Brunswick after Sayreville quickly moves down the field. Maybe in the past, East Brunswick would be deflated, and then they wouldn't respond.
Good point.
This time, they do.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, Jim. Last year we didn't see that. I mean, I didn't see it. The first game I saw was a little bit of that, but after that, apparently not much of that. But they came back immediately, and as you said, we don't know what the final score is going to be, but that's certainly a mark of improvement there on the Bears.
All right, Badriak's going to kick, and it's a little deeper this time. Goes into the corner, out of bounds. Now, what?
35.
I think is it the 35 or the 40?
35, I believe. Let's see what they do. It's different in college and in high school, so we're gonna have to wait.
Well, they're obviously not going to kick it over. Sayreville's going to take the ball, and
yeah, they're going to kick it over.
They do want them to kick it over. Okay.
That's the option, I guess. At one point, I thought it was an automatic out of bounds, automatic back on the 35, but
yeah, that could be a rule change now.
Could be. Although if I'm Sayreville, I probably want Jabby to get the ball.
So they're obviously trying to kick the ball away from Sayreville's speedsters. Not only do you have Junior Jabby as the deep back, but you also got Holmes, I believe. Holmes and Sproul flanking him. So either one of those three are capable of big things.
Absolutely.
To the corner again. Nice kick. Holmes gathers it in, moves to the middle of the field. He's got room. He cuts to the outside, through the inside and just lassoed down. Actually, a touchdown-saving tackle.
Danny Fessel.
By Fessel.
That's the young man, that sophomore, that got the touchdown pass. Made an absolutely saving tackle. And that's why you don't want to kick the ball to Jabby.
Right. Advance the ball down to the 23-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Excellent field position for Sayreville. Well, just off that tackle by Fessel, that tells me he's a player. Not only is he a good receiver, but he can play both sides of the ball. All right, Sayreville, 1st and 10 on their 23. Give is up the middle. Bullying his way forward is, I believe, is Sproul.
Right, Danolenko on the stop.
Again, a big yardage for Sayreville. They get 7 yards on that play.
Along with Brian Campbell with 68 in on that stop as well.
All righty. Thanks, Charlie, for keeping watch on those.
It's tough. The numbers
defenders.
are tough. And you know, when those kids, those linemen, don't get much recognition, when they make a good play, we need to do the best we can.
7:45 to go in the first period. East Brunswick with an 8-7 lead. Huff. Give is to the right side. There's that room for Sproul. I see a flag. Could have been a block behind the line of scrimmage. And I think they're going to bring this one back.
Brought down by Robinson out here, but I think it's coming back as well.
Right. Call it a clip, call it a block behind the waist, whatever.
Holding.
Holding. From that spot, that'll bring it back 10 yards. Or 15.
Yeah, that's an important point.
Right.
It's a spot foul.
Right.
Not from the line of scrimmage, from the spot of where the penalty was committed, the hold in this case. The penalty will be marked off at that point. $10 yards.
So
holding in high school, 10 yards.
Right. So remember, that was 2nd down, so it remains 2nd down, but it is a 2nd and 14. You have Jabby and Holmes flanked to the right. Lone back is Sproul. East Brunswick's defense really spread here. There's the pitch to Sproul, cuts inside, gets good yardage. Almost, he's about
short,
3 yards short. East Brunswick is so intent on stopping those wide runs by Sayreville that now they're cutting inside and they're finding those seams.
It's almost like Sproul is running in regular motion and East Brunswick is kind of slow motion out there. I understand they're giving it 100%, but boy, is he quick.
Now it's to the left side. Boy, they really spread it around, don't they?
Nice blocking. Nice blocking. Tackle by number 27 was in on that tackle, Brian Ackerman.
Another 1st down from Sayreville. And
inside the 10?
They're about on the 11-yard line, let's call it. They're moving the ball like they did the first drive.
Yeah. Again.
Sproul inside, and nobody touched him until too late.
Touchdown.
And it's a touchdown. So Sproul scores his 2nd touchdown on an 11-yard run. And that makes the score 13-8 with the extra point to come. Touchdown coming at 6:03 of the first period. We've had 3 scores. Sayreville, as they always do, brings an excellent crowd with them.
They do. In recent years, they've certainly come out and supported a winning team.
All right, they're going to go for 2 here. Give is to Jabby, and he is stopped. So the extra point is no good. Score remains. East Brunswick down by a 13-8 score.
Big stop for East Brunswick. I saw 37 go on the field. Riccio, I couldn't see if he was involved in the tackle. It looked to me like number 76, Correa, and possibly Yeah, I think Korea was in as well on that stop. So that, I mean, that's once again, it may not mean the difference in this game necessarily, but it's a good character builder and an encouragement for the Bears to be able to stop Sayreville on that short from the 3-yard line, the extra point, and they chose to go for 2. So 13-8.
All right, this is our 4th kickoff of the game.
Bears have to find a way, though, to stop that run. I mean, otherwise, it could be a long night here.
All right, this is Jabby kicking off for Sayreville. Last time he put it right into the hands. Well, this is deeper now. Picked up by, it looks like Robinson. Right to the middle of the field. Squeezes past one tackler.
He wasn't down.
Feet.
What's the whistle? But
well, they're going to have to call it where the whistle sounded, and that's about 5 yards back.
Yeah, maybe 10.
Yeah, that was a little premature on the whistle.
He was still moving. Yeah, I'm saying that at the same time. I want to say that the job of the officials, in addition to call the game, is to make sure that kids don't get injured.
Right.
So, and that's, I'm sure, what he was trying to do.
Okay. So that is where East Brunswick will begin at their own. It's hard to see the yard markers tonight.
28, I believe.
Okay, 28. We still have practically the entire, or half of the first period yet to go here.
Right.
Because of all the scoring. Remember how Sayreville's safeties moved up and they got burned on that touchdown. Let's see if they're a little bit more honest. And Mariski.
Hands off.
Yeah. Let's see that. Is that Fessel? No, he was blocking.
I think that was Bobby Minetta on the carry, 30,
yep, exactly.
36.
That's who it was, and he got good yardage. About 8 yards, as a matter of fact. So East Brunswick showing they can move the ball. Making 2nd and 2. Mariski pitches deep to Minetta, looks for some room, fumbles the ball out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Looks like about the 35, 36, Jim.
Right, so I'm going to say it's a no gain.
Yeah, I don't think there's maybe even a loss of a half. Wasn't much room there.
Well, again, it's the backfield of Sayreville reacts very smartly.
They are quick.
And you can see the size on the line makes it hard to run up the middle. It has to be a lot of misdirection. All right, Mariski is 1 for 1 on the pass. That touchdown pass to Fessel. It's up the middle, and he's met. Don't think he got it.
No, not from where the spot is. That was Robinson on a carry. What I didn't like there, Jim, if I can just comment quickly, he went in straight up. What do we need? We needed 1.5 yards. I think you got to put your head down and go in there, because he got hit when he was straight up. And
right.
That's got to hurt.
Well, look, let's face it, he has a lack of size. He ought to use that to his advantage and just run low.
Right, and he's got good quickness. 25 on the punt for the Doug File.
He is another returning kicker for East Brunswick.
We got deep. Is it 27? Who's been all over the place tonight?
Well, what do we have? 13 men on the field for East Brunswick? Illegal substitution, or what do they call this? What's the
illegal participation?
Illegal participation. That's the official name for this. So they will penalize East Brunswick 5 yards.
You know, it's nice to play with 12 if you can.
Got to get those things straight. Still 4th down. Sayreville with, looks like Holmes and Jabby.
27 is Holmes, and right. Jabby number 2.
And they're lined up on their 40. File with a nice high kick. Fair catch called, fumbled. Let's see who's got it.
Bears are pointing.
East Brunswick.
Yep.
Coming up with the ball, looks like number 72.
Mike McCarty.
All right. So another miscue by the Bombers. And East Brunswick catches a break. They get the ball first down in Sayreville's 48-yard line.
Now, aren't you glad that there's not a halo rule? I don't. The halo rule applies to college where they got the two-yard. Every time I see that, it annoys me.
Well, I think the running back, or rather the receiver, saw a halo in the light.
Yeah, I think that's possible.
And really didn't get a handle on it.
Okay, we got Mariski at quarterback.
Here he comes. Up the middle. That's the give is to number Mineta, number 36.
36.
Doesn't get anything, however. Good penetration there.
57, Ken Leone, the linebacker, the middle linebacker, in on that stop for Sayreville.
We'll call a gain of 1 on the play, making it 2nd and 9. 3:35 left to go in period number 1. East Brunswick losing 13-8 to Sayreville. We've had 3 scores. 2 by Sayreville, 1 by East Brunswick. East Brunswick with 3 setbacks. Maritzky's going to pass one more time. He's looking for Schultz. However, he finds the lone back Robinson underneath. So they flood the zone with 2 receivers. Schultz going long, and Robinson underneath. They caught it. It was a nice pass.
Nice pass, nice play. That's down to the 23-yard line, so that's a pickup of about 30 yards almost.
And another first down for the Bears.
Well, that was good. That was good defense on Sayreville's part. It just the Bears executed that to perfection.
Risky, really showing confidence as a passer. Now they call timeout.
Timeout, East Brunswick. Just let me run down that offensive line while we got a chance. You don't get back and pass and have the time that Mariski had on that one without some help up front by number 68, Brian Campbell. 72 is Mike McCarty, one of the captains, along with 62, the center, Alan Grosholtz, who's also one of the captains. Number 76, James Correa, and number 54, Cameron Arshad. And your receivers are number 83, Danny Fessel, and 17, Dwayne Schultz. So without their help and support, nothing happens.
And Charlie, a couple of good defensive plays by East Brunswick, especially in stopping that 2-point conversion before. Can you tell us who's been playing on the defensive line for East Brunswick?
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Some of the same guys, Campbell, 68,
okay.
Correa, 76. Again, Arshad and Danis, Raffi is what they call him. And he's one of the kickers as well, number 78, a big young man. And Mike McCarty, number 72, who picked up that fumble on the kick, on the punt there.
All righty.
Okay.
So we're set to go. East Brunswick with a first down on Sayreville's 24-yard line. You got Ackerman split to the left, Schultz to the right. The give is up the middle.
Riccio
gets decent yards.
Stopped by number 80, Matt Pagoda.
Gain of 4 on the play, making it 2nd and 6. Down to 2:30 left in the first period of play. Sayreville 13, East Brunswick 8.
You know, my theory, as long as East Brunswick's got the ball, Sayreville can't score. So you want to take care of the ball and see if we can't get some first downs here.
Risky. Calling signals for the Bears.
Riccio again, I think.
He disguises well, does he not, Mariski?
Yes, he does. Yep. Problem was we couldn't move anybody up front. 77 in on that stop for Sayreville.
Maybe a gain of 1 on the play.
Connors.
3rd and 5. Ball is situated in such an area where if they don't make a first down, I would imagine they'll go for it on 4th rather than try to field goal.
I would think so. You're talking about a 38-yard field goal.
3rd and 5 for East Brunswick. Maritzky, but they were teaming on him.
On the keeper.
So he's going to fall at least 2 yards short of the first down. And again, East Brunswick with a decision to make here.
62, Matt Bodak on the tackle for the Bombers.
Let's see what they decide to do. Well, you got the kicker coming on the field.
You got the kicker coming on. It's going to be.
Well, it looks to be a field goal attempt.
Oh, I see where you're going. Do you think they would fake it here? I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, you got Mariski taking a snap.
So this would be an attempt from the, let's say, the 23-yard line. We got a penalty flag now. This could be an important flag. It's against East Brunswick.
Oh, that's not going to help.
Yeah. Is delay of game?
I think so.
Well, they did take their time.
It's back to the 23. That's 33 and 7.
It's still setting up for the field goal, Charlie.
40 yards.
Well, it's a 39-yard field goal attempt here.
Remember, that's
by high school standards, that's long.
That's a long snap. That's a long kick anywhere.
They put it up. May have the distance.
Tell you what.
Does he have it? Just a little short. You know, that 5 yards was enough.
5 yards would have put it over the goalpost, and the Bears would have been up to 11, 13-11. So that's a big play. So
the score remains 13-8 Sayreville with 26 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Sayreville will get the ball on their own 20. That's a high school rule.
I was trying to pick up the snapper on that. Was I think it was Jimmy Correa, but I'll get that the next time.
Okay.
Which is important. I mean, it was a great snap, good kick, just not quite long enough.
Danny Huff calling signals for the entire game, gives the ball to Junior Jabby, and this time they lasso him.
Nice play over there, Jim, by the defensive end.
East Brunswick showing signs of developing some familiarity with what East Sayreville is going to do, and as a result, they can react a little bit quicker.
Yeah, that was Mineta, I think, on the initial contact there.
So that was the last play of the first quarter.
Well, that was a promising play for the Bears, and the reason I say that, Jim, is that was the first time that I can remember in the game that the Bears were able to shut down the sweep. You know, that left and right around the ends, the whole game for what they get, about a half a yard?
Right.
So that's a promising sign. Maybe we've made some adjustments on the sidelines here. One of the problems with trying to make adjustments, just to comment on that, is that if you look over the East Brunswick roster, most of them play both ways. So they're on the field all the time. And you're trying to make an adjustment, a defensive adjustment or an offensive adjustment, and you never have them all of them there in front of you, so a timeout is the only way to communicate with everyone. So it makes it a lot more difficult. I always like to, if you can develop that talent, to have as many guys just going one way as possible. But you look at the Bears, what is there, at least 7 or 8 guys that appear on both that offensive and defensive side.
That's true.
Well, and it's pretty tough when it's your quarterback and Mineta both ways. They've been able to get Ricky in there at the fullback position, and so Alexander doesn't have to play both ways. But okay.
All right, Sayreville comes immediately onto the field and lines up without going into huddle. So it's 2nd and 9. Huff keeps the ball, then he lobs a pass to Poor. Gets a couple of yards, not a heck of a lot though. So East Brunswick with a 3rd and long situation. Let's see if they can stop him here. 3rd and 5.
I think it's Mike Assini back into the game, 77 for the Bears.
Okay.
So you can see they're trying to rotate more and more players all the time, which I think if you can do it, everybody's happier, number one.
All right, so we're in the second quarter here. Sayreville with a 13-8 lead. They have a 3rd and 5. That give is up to number 8. Boy, that was a misdirection by Sproul. jumps over one man, but he's driven out of bounds.
That was Bobby Ayala, 21, who knocked him out of bounds, or else he's in the end zone.
Oh, that's a good call.
Nice call into East Brunswick territory at the 46-yard line.
Forgot to mention that Sayreville is coached by one of the top coaches, I think, in the area, George Najjar. He is, when he came through here, he instantly turned Sayreville into a good team. Not that they weren't before that, but it sort of brought them up to another level.
I certainly agree. Up the middle.
Give is up the middle. Is that poor?
Yes.
Right, he battles his way to another first down, looks like. Close to it.
Pretty close to the first down. Stopped by Danilenko again. And Mineta, 36 and 11.
All right, they're going to say 9-yard gain on the play, making it 2nd and 1. Ball is resting on the 37-yard line of East Brunswick. Poor, the lone setback. And somebody moves for Sayreville. Looks like their right tackle, number 70.
Number 70.
That's Steve Daly.
Yes. And isn't that a shame? It's the only time a lineman gets mentioned when they move.
Well.
And we know that nothing happens without those linemen out there, so we're not trying to.
All right, they're going to bring it back 5, and instead of 2nd and 1, it's 2nd and 6. Give is up the middle once more. That's poor. He's got room. Finally dragged down after a first down run.
As we mentioned in the pregame, Jim, last week against Woodbridge in a 42-14 win, Poor had 12 carries for 122 yards in a TD, so obviously he can carry that leather up there.
Well, what's interesting, Charlie, is that in the first period, first couple of drives for Sayreville, your fleet backs were getting the ball and they were going wide. East Brunswick adjusted, and now they're using Poor up the middle.
Absolutely.
First down, and there's the pitch to Sproul. Excuse me, that's Jabby. Another flag down, looks like a holding call.
Kind of threw that flag at number 55 over there, the lineman for Carmine Serganisi.
In case there was any doubt, right? Threw it right at him.
He did. He threw it right and landed on his back. So I really couldn't miss that. I don't know if that's the gentleman who committed a penalty, because they don't give you the numbers in college or in high school.
That's
true.
But
that's the way it is.
We don't want to embarrass them, do we?
No, absolutely
Well, I think
not.
we did a good job.
We weren't trying to.
No, I know that. Okay.
That was Correa back into the lineup for the Bears for Asini.
So Sayreville slowed down temporarily by another penalty. Again, we mentioned it's from the spot of the foul, so it goes back
10 from that spot.
Yeah, so it looks to me like about, is it 1st and 23?
About 22, 23, right.
Okay. Ball rests on the 42-yard line. Here's a double reverse. It's with Jabby.
That was Mineta on the initial contact for the Bears, driving him out of bounds.
Charlie, it's hard to execute that play. A double reverse, in order for it to work, it has to go so quick. And they did it, but East Brunswick fortunately had a little time to react.
Well, East Brunswick fortunately had 20. They had 21 or 22 yards to go, and they picked up 11. So it's 2nd and 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ball on the 32-yard line of East Brunswick. 8:54 left to go in the second quarter. It is 13-8 Sayreville. This is Sproul. He's a good runner. He finds the seams.
Stopped by number 27, Brian Ackerman again. If you noticed in your picture that time, the defensive end linebacker, actually, Danilenko, is stepping back and moving off the line so that he can force that play inside. What has to happen now is when he forces it inside, that cornerback has got to come up and make that stick, and that's what happened then. It just was 7-8 yard gain. 3rd
and 3. Give us to Poor up the middle. He's dragged some tacklers with him. And they are inside the 20-yard line now, down to about the 18.
Brian Campbell, 68, getting up off the bottom of the pile for the Bears.
So Sayreville really haven't been stopped the entire game.
It's interesting where Robinson lines up. He's at a linebacker. Now he's coming back off a little bit.
This is Sproul. He cuts into the middle. And boy, I'll tell you what.
Well, a couple of attempts at a tackle there. We won't.
And I think that's the key. It was attempts.
We won't call any numbers, but you get a shot at him, you got to take a pop. He's just quick, and it's very difficult to hit him.
Well, guess who scored all the points for Sayreville thus far? LeJohn Sproul. It seems like every player, every week, it's somebody different for Sayreville.
Right,
Last week
Jabby
it was
with
Bohr.
3.
Jabby.
Right.
So maybe the game plan was to. Okay, that was an 18-yard touchdown by Sproul. The touchdown coming at 7:45, and I imagine they're going to go for 2 on this. Score is now 19-8. That's a straight off tackle play, and
In.
he made it in for 2 points. Good. Who made that? Number 87 was the primary blocker for Sayreville on that.
Yes, a nice block up
Kelsey.
front. Yeah.
6'2", 235. So the 2-point conversion.
Nice attempt there to stop it by Alexander as well. Just that once they get that momentum going forward, it's pretty hard to stop it without any kind of a gain. And you're only looking at 3 yards. So.
All right, 21-8. Scoring has come fast and furious in this game. I think we've had 1 punt.
Well, all those newspaper articles and so forth about Sayreville were true. Usually we don't get a chance to see them before they play the Bears, but in reading about Sayreville, they talked about the speed of their backs, the ability of Huff, certainly the size of that line. We were looking over some of those numbers before, Jim, and 6'1", 240, 6'1", 235, 6'3", 240, 6'1", Ryan Connors, 6'1", 290. A lot of size, a lot of quickness.
And there's an onside kick, and I think it was Mineta was there to gather it up.
I thought it was 37.
Okay, 37. You're right.
Did I see that?
Yes.
Chris Riccio.
He was smart on the ball. Boy.
Yeah, I watched that.
Onside kick.
I watched that game. I watched the game at Florida State Clemson last night, and the second kickoff, Tommy Bowden thought he would, and he did. And they onside kicked a little pooch kick, and they were able to pick it up. But this time, Riccio here for the Bears was on his toes and was able to capture that ball. Bears got good field position.
Clemson coach, the son of
Bobby Bowden,
showing no respect going on that onset. All right, East Brunswick will begin on its own 48-yard line. Good field position once more for the Bears. They need a touchdown. Give is, let's see, who has that?
Riccio, or Mineta.
Broke 1 tackle, but he was nailed. I believe that was number 58 on the tackle.
58 on the tackle.
Go ahead, you have a shot at this.
Gary Andrew Shesko.
There you go, Andrew Shesko.
We had a Sayreville player up here that was injured, and he pronounced it for me, so I don't think I murdered it too badly.
All right, Mineta gets 2 on that, making it 2nd and 8 at midfield. 7:07 left to go in the first period. Marisky's going to pass. Gets Schultz, drops it. It's right in his arms.
Pretty good pass there. One of the things that I think at night, passing the football is much more difficult. The lights just, you don't pick the ball up quite as quickly as you'd like to.
So that incomplete pass makes it 3rd and 8 for East Brunswick.
As I said before, the thing that the Bears want to do is get some first downs and control the football.
Charlie, what I've seen thus far, Marisky is a good, strong passer, and he seems to have enough time. His receivers just need to get open.
Yeah, if he gets the time, I think he can be effective.
There he goes to this side. Moves to his right and is brought down. And credit that tackle actually to a fine Both of the receivers for East Brunswick, Schultz and Hessel, were covered well. Sayreville couldn't do anything with it, and he's thrown for a loss.
You know what I saw on that play? He was coming to his left, and he's a right-handed quarterback, and he saw the guy coming behind him and just didn't have the opportunity to set and throw the football. He had Dan Fessel that was open down here,
right,
but wasn't able to get it to him.
So this is File, who will punt the ball once more for East Brunswick on a 4th down. Looks like they're setting up for the return. Sayreville, good kick. Jabby's going to gather it in. Moves to the outside. However, this time he's brought down by Riccio. So that's good coverage by East Brunswick.
Now there's 2 good plays in a row by Riccio. One on the onside and a tackle back here, tackling Jabby, who we've already seen how quick, what kind of speed he has tonight.
Chris Riccio, 5'11", 182 pounds, senior.
Senior.
And he's one of the captains, is he not?
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's not. But he really has come on since the first game here against Piscataway.
All right, here comes Sayreville again, and they're coming on. They have a 21-8 lead.
Coming this way.
To the right side, there goes a yellow flag. Obviously, that is in holding territory. Played well by East Brunswick's defense.
Yeah, he had Mariski and Mineta, along with
I think Cassini was out there as well.
Ackerman, and said good defense on that for East Brunswick. But it was a hold, it looks like, against Sayreville.
And East Brunswick will naturally take this penalty. They need to bring Sayreville back as far as possible.
I love those officials that throw that flag at the player. and you were laughing, but you remember last year, was it last year when the official in the NFL threw it and hit a player in the eye?
East Brunswick refuses. Not sure I agree with that. No gain on the play, however. 2nd and 10.
I missed the signal. Was it hold?
It was a hold.
10? Yeah, well, okay. Be quiet. Something I don't do well.
Okay. Huff to the left side. Boy, he's got some space. They're trying to close in on him. Danolenko?
I'm telling you, that young man makes more tackles for the Bears than anybody. He's in on everything.
All right, maybe that decision to refuse the penalty was a good one, because Huff got about 5 yards on that, makes it 3rd and 5, and East Brunswick, if they can hold.
Right. We're going to see what a good decision it was or not here on this play.
Have they thrown yet?
No, I don't think they've completed oh, yes, they've completed 1 to Poor.
Well, there's Sproul up the middle. I'm telling you, I don't know how you defend this, because you have to be wary of the flanks. And then a good misdirection handoff gives the ball to a fleeting Sproul right up the middle. And you just don't have time to react.
Well, you got Mariski and Mineta again on the stop. But
first down.
First down.
And ball resting in midfield. 4:45 left to go in the 2nd quarter. It is 21-8 Sayreville. Bombers 3-0, looking to extend their undefeated record. Stood up at the line of scrimmage. However, he got through.
Poor.
Well, he gets 5 yards. Somebody's still down there. Is that Poor?
77 Assini on the initial contact. I can't see it looks like an East Brunswick player, but
it is. East Brunswick sporting uniforms that resemble the Jets.
We don't want to talk about that.
I was going to say that's all it resembles is the look.
They certainly can't tackle anybody. The Jets. Oh, my goodness. And it really hurts me, too, because 2 linebackers for the Jets, Marvin Jones and...
Marvin's not a happy camper
no,
these
he's
days.
not. Florida State middle linebacker.
He's sharing time.
And who's the linebacker they got from Buffalo, the Jets?
Coward. Sam Coward?
Sam Coward. He's a Florida State linebacker as well.
All right. Let's see if we can get the number here.
That's one thing that I don't care what it is, if it's Pop Warner or high school or college or pros, you hate to see somebody down on that field. Trainer Phil Hostler out there working on the injured player, and as soon as we can, 27.
Is it number 27? That's your man.
Am I seeing that? That's Ackerman, Brian Ackerman, who has played very well this evening.
Yes, he has.
He's made a number of very good tackles and been all over the field, obviously in on that tackle.
And he's holding his left arm.
Yeah, his left arm or shoulder. Sometimes you get a little stinger, and it'll, subside in a second or two, but you get that stinger. The other thing that you see sometimes is a slight separation when that arm is being held in when you're coming off the field, because it hurts if you move.
Is this a second down?
Second down.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Second and let's call it 5 yards. Huff looks like he might throw. Oh, he tucks it under his foot, slips, and I think he falls forward for enough for a first down.
Yeah, that's Aaron Horace, 84, who kind of fell on him after he was on the ground.
Charlie, I noticed something. I was looking in the end zone, the right end zone here. You see a tower, and apparently those are where the Sayreville spotters are. Is that Sayreville's men? I think they are.
Yes, yeah, that's Sayreville.
So they bring their own tower with them.
That's a great, that's a great place to watch the game.
Obviously.
Or see the game in the end zones. I used to love to do that when I coached because you can see that alignment better than any place else. Yeah, it's in our picture now. You cannot see alignment when you're on the side they're on the sidelines. But where they are, where that picture is up there, probably higher than I want to be.
Yes. By the way, there's a timeout on the field.
And
So
that's why we're looking at the tower, I think. But you can see the game, all those splits, and you can see like East Brunswick made the adjustment to try to stop the sweeps. As soon as they make that adjustment, those guys up there and the coaches for Sayreville will spot that adjustment and call that down to the sidelines, and then the coach says, well, we're not going to run that. We're going to run that up the middle. We're going to take Mark Poor, who had 122 yards against Woodbridge, and we're going to put him up the middle.
That's exactly what's been happening.
Absolutely.
We noted that in the first quarter it was to the right, to the left with Sayreville, but more of Poor and up the middle.
Right, and we've had a couple of reverses, which further complicates defending a team with that kind of speed.
So they give him 1 yard to go. Huff up the middle.
Poor.
Excuse me, Poor.
Handoff by Huff, right.
And
Yeah.
making the tackle is number 84 for East Brunswick.
Dan Fessel.
That would be Aaron
Horace, I'm sorry. 83 is Fessel.
Yet another first down for the Bombers. We haven't kept count on how many they have, but it's been a bunch. Ball resting on the East Brunswick 39-yard line. Down to 3:15 left to go in the second quarter.
Sweet.
Nice cut by Sproul. Another nice cut. He's got room through the middle. Avoids one tackle. Boy, that was a classic run there.
Well, he didn't avoid him. He ran over that young man.
That's what I should have said.
The East Brunswick player came up and stuck him, and he just ran over him. So in addition to his quickness, there's some power there. Wow. He's impressive. DeJohn Sproul, 5'6", 150.
Advances the ball all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Right.
Another first down.
Boy, the East Brunswick would love to keep Sayreville out of the end zone right here, Jim.
They just keep on coming at you. This is Jabby.
This way.
He's got some room. Running behind his tackle there. Makes a wild cut to the left and goes in standing up.
All of the action was coming here to the near sideline, and Jabby just showed his great ability to cut back and just put on his speed and Really burned it.
So that 16-yard touchdown run coming with 2:20 left to go in the second quarter extends Sayreville's lead to 27-8.
Riccio on for number 2, Javon Jones for the Bears coming off, who was in for the injured East Brunswick player, Ackerman, number 27.
No kick here, Charlie.
No, going for 2.
Huff looking in the end zone.
Back to pass.
Finds an uncovered. Well, that looks like number 60-something.
Is it 60 or 36?
Must be a tackle eligible.
Is it? No, it's 87, Jim. That was number 87 for Sayreville, Robert Kelsey. Yep, tight end, 6'2", 235. And Mineta was trying to cover 2 guys in the back of the end zone, and Huff was able to take his time, no real pressure on him, and was able to complete that for the 2 points.
And making it 29-8. And East Brunswick getting a little roughed up here.
Yeah, it's getting ugly.
Well, Charlie, you know, I didn't see the Stevens game last week. You were not there, were you?
No, I wasn't able to go.
It just is amazing that in high school football, from week to week, you can take teams that you would think would do well, don't do well, and you know, and different outcomes every time.
A lot of emotion in any football, college football the same way. But in high school football, I think you have certain styles that match up against other teams quite well.
Jabby kicks off. Looks like Mineta's going to gather it up on his 5. He's past his 20. He gets hit hard.
Up the middle.
Poor, who's made a couple of good tackles off of kickoff returns.
And 54th, Carmen Surgeonese, I think, for Signanese for Sayreville.
So East Brunswick's going to have 2 minutes and 9 seconds to see what they can do. Ball's on their own 27-yard line.
Now there's a clean shirt there, Jim, number 4. Matt Morano in at quarterback for the Bears.
What's that all about, Charlie?
I don't know if Mariski is just tired. He's standing over here on the side with his helmet off, or if he's hurt a little bit. I mean, he's played both ways the whole night. So maybe it's a chance to take another look.
Well, there's the give. You know, I have to say.
I mean, that's my philosophy too,
yeah.
Jim. I've said that before. If you can play, the more guys you can play, the better the opportunity of success.
Well, I think it's also notable that Sayreville's, for the most part, except for the secondary, has all new players on the line.
Yes, and they got some clean jerseys out there, and I don't think that Sayreville coach is going to punish the Bears tonight. I mean, they don't. That's not his style. No.
No. Marcus Borden and George Najjar are close friends. They used to run a football camp at one time. Called First and 10.
Yes.
Now, who was the runner on that play?
As soon as he turns around.
Here he comes.
There it is. Riccio, 37. Nice run,
yeah.
By the way. Nice.
They're going to have third and short.
Less than a yard.
And meanwhile, the clock continues to run. We're under a minute now in the second quarter. It's pretty much been Sayreville, except for East Brunswick's 1 touchdown. They responded after East Brunswick. Sayreville scored first, and it's been Sayreville all the way. There's a run. Good
Looks like
spin run.
No, I'm going to say that was Robinson. I didn't see the number. That's his spin.
Boy, we've not seen too much of him tonight, have we?
No, we haven't. And that's who it was, right? 23? Yep.
All right, 42 seconds, and the clock continues to roll.
I like the way Morano has come in and handled this, Jim. The number 4, the new quarterback for the Bears.
This is Morano right here. He's going to throw it. Down the field, caught by number 11. That's Danilenko.
Danilenko, in addition to all the tackles he makes, he can catch the football.
So that reception, good for another East Brunswick first down.
And that
14
stops
seconds
the clock,
though.
too.
But 14 seconds left. I think East Brunswick just called a timeout.
Okay. But the clock does stop, like in college football, on first downs.
Now there's a quarterback, a right-hander, who threw against the grain, but
Had a little time. See, what Mariski had was when Mariski came this way earlier, he looked behind him and saw this guy bearing down on him, and he knew that if he turned his body, he was going to get planted. And it just, this time Moreno had a little bit more time. A good fake up the middle, which gave him that time. I watched the defensive end on this side who took a step in. Sometimes that's all you need is one step, and he's got pretty good quickness here, I'm noticing. So.
Mariano, a sophomore. Charlie, I don't know what degree there's been contributions from a program of 2 years ago, 8th grade, where a lot of these players played for a Pop Warner program that actually went to Florida. Now, again, I don't know to what degree that's been contributors.
It makes a big difference. It really does. Maybe sometime we talk about that a little bit.
Mariano back to pass in a shotgun formations, throwing it long. And is that caught? No. Incomplete.
Fish was waving it off. Looked good from here, didn't it?
Sure did.
Is that 11 or 17 in the intended receiver?
That's number 11. Danilenko. 8 seconds left. Time for perhaps one or two plays. Two plays.
Probably one, maybe two.
Sayreville comes back. Well, they look like they've got it. This is a
timeout
true prevent.
For the Bears.
There's another timeout.
Is that a prevent? The defensive back over there on the other side is, let's see, 10, 20, 30, almost 30 yards from the line of scrimmage. That's
Absolutely.
prevent.
So just quickly, the scoring. First three touchdowns for Sayreville by Lejean Spruill. First coming at 9:38 on the 26-yard run. East Brunswick answered back on a 65-yard pass from Mark Mariski to Danny Fessel. That made it, and the two-point conversion actually had East Brunswick out in front 8-7, but then Sayreville scored the next 3 times it got the ball. Spruill, 11-yard run, 18-yard run, and then Junior Jabby, a 16-yard run, makes it 29-8, and that's where we stand.
Right, with the two-point conversion, the last one for Sayreville. Very interesting. Bears are going to, I don't know who that defensive back was over there. Let's see, we'll see if he's the same one. I thought he was going to the refreshment stand for a Coke or something. He was so far back. That's Javi. He needs a break.
Where's he going to throw?
I don't know.
Look at this defense.
Better throw underneath.
Well, it was right down the pipe. And
intended
we
for
got
17. Schultz. What's that third? Bring up a third down and 10. I don't know. If you see where Sayreville's playing, those guys.
They're not even huddling up.
No, not at all. Jabby's back there at about the 10-yard line, which is 50 yards from the line of scrimmage almost. 40 yards anyway.
Well, we're going to see how strong Mariano's arm is.
He'd need a cannon to get it down there. Good protection, though.
Well, he's going to get some yards on the stat board. And that's going to do it.
Nice thing is they didn't stick him either. Number 80 for Sayreville just kind of jumped over him along with 57, Ken Leone. And they could have kind of given him a stick there, so that was a kind move.
All right, that was the last play of the second quarter. The score now, Sayreville 29, East Brunswick 8. We're going to take a quick break right now, and we'll be back with the second half after this. Okay, we are back at East Brunswick High School, where Sayreville, the visiting team, holds a rather commanding 29-8 lead. Charlie, I didn't get a chance to get your observations about that first half. It doesn't take a genius here to know that they had pretty much had their way.
Well, the first thing I would say is Sayreville's a better football team than East Brunswick. They have more talent. They got size, quickness. In my opinion, a very formidable Group 4. I guess maybe they're Group 3. I'm not sure. I'm saying Group 4 because they used to be.
Yeah.
It's a good team.
Right.
And I think that East Brunswick, since I saw them against Piscataway here. I didn't see the Edison game, which I know you broadcast. I think they're a much better football team than I saw against Piscataway. And I think that Sayreville is better than Piscataway football team. Now 29-8. And my recollection is that Sayreville threw one pass.
That's right.
Huff to Poor for about 5 yards. So not a factor. If you look at last week, they gained 338 yards against Woodbridge. 311 were on the ground. So they have a tremendous ground attack. They have multiple formations. As you mentioned during the first half, they ran that double reverse, which is not the easiest thing to run at any level. And they were extremely effective. When the Bears tried to adjust and stop that outside, they popped up Mark Poor, number 10, up the middle. I think Sayreville's an excellent football team.
Right.
I was also impressed with East Brunswick in that they came out through a real nice pass. They had an opportunity again. So I've seen some improvement since I was here the last time, since I saw the Bears. So let's see what happens here in the second half.
And that is Jabby kicking off for Sayreville. It's a low liner. Bobbled. That's by number 2, Javon Jones. And he gets up to, let's call it the 42-yard line.
I think it's 32, Jim.
Okay.
Yeah, 32.
And that is where East Brunswick will begin. Remember, they deferred to the second half, so they get the chance to get the ball first.
Just a second, Jim. Javon Jones, another one of those sophomores we keep mentioning. A lot of sophomores playing for the Bears, and that's a good sign.
Oh, yes. I've heard more than one coach say that sophomores really don't have any business being on the field. It does take so long to gain the proper experience to become a truly effective player. So when you have a sophomore in the field, it really tells you something about the quality of the athlete.
That was Riccio up the middle, Jim, stopped by number 70, Steve Daly for the Bombers.
3-yard gain. We'll call it 2nd and 7 for East Brunswick. Underway in the second half here. Sayreville with a 29-8 lead. Sproul scoring 3 times, Jabby once, 4 touchdowns. And it'd be interesting to see. Well, Mariski's back in, Charlie.
Right. I was just going to note that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
pitch to
there's a
Robinson.
pitch to Robinson. Yeah, he never saw it. Now he's going to go to wide, and there's a gang tackle. It's number 77. One of the Sayreville players tried to tackle him and missed him.
Well, I'll tell you what, that 77 is a big young man. Ryan Connors, 6'1", 290. And Robinson is nowhere near that size.
Right, he took a shot, so big loss on the play, bringing it down to about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it's about the 18, I think.
18?
Yeah.
Mariski, oh!
Boy, 87 for Sayreville.
Kind of saw that coming.
Stepped right up there, Robert Kelsey.
He's ready for that.
6'2", 235.
So East Brunswick 3 and out here.
4th and a half a mile.
Sayreville's, most notably Jabby and Sproul, are going to be gathering in a punt.
Inside of East Brunswick territory, right back here, what, about 45. Woo. 25, Jim, on the punt for the Bears.
That'd be File.
Right.
Gets up a high kick. Fair catch called by Jabby. Down on about the 35-yard line. Needless to say, excellent field position for the Bombers.
Now, if that was in college, you would have had a penalty on Danny Fessel there.
Okay, for not
that
giving
halo
enough room.
business.
Yeah.
So
okay.
obviously that's not a penalty in high school football.
All right, we have Huff, the starting quarterback, in there for Sayreville.
Same cast of characters,
Sproul,
it looks like.
the lone setback. You've got Jabby flanked to the right, Holmes flanked to the right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very potent offense right here. There's a pass to Holmes.
Flanker screen.
And Holmes takes it down to the 33-yard line.
I believe you're right.
Not a big gain on the play.
Stopped by Mariski, number 1. 2nd and 6.
So Sayreville with a 2nd and 6 here. Holmes now is to the near side. Sproul, the lone right setback. Give us to him up the middle. He's nailed, but he still gets some yards. I don't know. Somebody hit him, but
Well, we took 62 out on that when number 62, Matt Bodek, was knocked back, who was the guard.
okay.
But the back went shooting by him.
And that back was Sproul, who gets about 5 yards on that play, making it 3rd and 2. 9 minutes left to go in this 3rd quarter of play. Sayreville with a 29-8 lead, looking to add to that. There's a give up the middle. Sproul has a nice seam, bounces off 2 tacklers. Wow, he has been so hard to bring down. Charlie, you said it before. East Brunswick hits him, but they just bounce off.
He doesn't go down. He does not go down easy. Stopped by number 27 for the Bears. The last one up off the Brian Ackerman on the stop.
A lot of determination.
Oh, now you see they come out, they run a little bit wide, and now they're pop up the middle 2 or 3 times. It's very tough. You have to have a balanced, talented defense to stop this Sayreville team.
Ball resting on about the 16-yard line. So yet another first down for Sayreville. Boy, they have those flankers split wide, too.
Yeah, the wide receivers are.
Give a quick give up the middle.
Nice fake.
That was poor.
Poor again, stopped by 27, Ackerman.
He down to about the, well, that's about a 10-yard gain, so we're going to call it down to the 6-yard line. They might measure.
Yeah, 6-yard line.
Nope, first down.
First down.
Excuse me.
Chris Riccio coming on for Ackerman here, number 37 replacing 27.
Jabby to the left, cuts inside. There's another flag. They'll bring that back.
Probably can't stop him though. I can't. We haven't been able to stop him the whole night.
You know what? If nothing else, Charlie, this will be a good observation or opportunity for Sayreville to, tighten up on, because I'm sure the coaches are getting a good look from the end zone as to what's going on. But there's been numerous times that they've been called for holding tonight.
Yes, they have. Cini replacing Korea for the Bears in the middle. Bears are just getting blown out of there.
So that penalty is going to bring them back to the 14-yard line. And I believe, can they get a first down? Yes, they can.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, it's 1st and goal from the 14.
1st and goal.
Holmes and Jabby split to the right, Sproul in the backfield. This is Dan Huff, who's been all the way at quarterback. Huff looking in the end zone and finds his man. That was Jabby. Was it? I believe it was.
It looks like number 2. 2 and 6 or 2 and 8 are kind of blending together here. And those 2, it looked like 2. Stopped by Mariski, number 1 for the Bears.
So they get it inside the 5. Still 2nd and goal. Oh, a pass. Yeah, that was intended for number 87, Kelsey, who's been really a force on defense, but that's really one of his first opportunities tonight. I don't know if an East Brunswick player got in his way.
Well, it was defended by Ayala. He was in the right place. I don't think the ball was thrown a little behind him, but Bobby Ayala was in the right place.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and goal from the 4.
This would be a big stop if the Bears could stop him.
Yeah, they really do need this. Give is to Sproul. He's going to go to the outside, looks for that corner, slips and falls. He had the right idea. He was trying to use his speed to the outside. Somebody's down for East Brunswick.
Good coverage, though, by East Brunswick to stop that outside. You had Robinson and Delanco and Aiello out here, and they did a nice job. There was a slip, but they were in the right position.
That is Correa, James Correa, the player who was injured for East Brunswick. He's up on his feet, but bent over.
another guy that plays both ways, both offensive, defense, and Jimmy Correa is one of the bigger guys on the Bears squad. 6 foot, 259. They got Rafi Danis at 279 and 6 foot. So they're about those are two of the bigger guys on the Bears squad.
All right, we have a 4th down now for the Bombers. It looks like Huff coming back into the huddle. They're going to go for it rather than a field goal. 6:45 left to go in the 3rd quarter. This drive has taken a lot off the clock.
And the Bears certainly like that.
Correa limping off.
It's like that left foot, left ankle possibly.
Boy, he is big.
Sayreville going to kick the field goal, Jim.
It does look like it. Number 86 putting the tee down for the Bombers. That's Matt Kenny. He is a sophomore.
Out of the hold of Poor.
Nice strong foot and puts it through.
Look good from here.
And that field goal is 22 yards and makes the score now 32-8. Matt Kenny.
Mark Poor on the hold out of the snap of number 62, Matt Bodak for Sayreville. Nice kick. Boy, he pounded it up in there.
Yes, he did. And that long drive consumed at least 5 minutes of the 3rd quarter. So
Sayreville showed you why they're 3-0.
Yeah.
A lot of talent on that Sayreville team. A lot of size on the offensive and defensive lines. The linebackers, good size, good quickness, and certainly Huff. Although I haven't been. He's only thrown a couple of passes, so we haven't had the opportunity really to see the passing game of Sayreville. You have to be both dimensional in high school football. You cannot just be one dimensional.
It's absolutely true. Although I will say this, as Jabby kicks it off deep, and looks like that looks like Mineta. Yeah, cuts to the outside. However, he's caught. Charlie, what I wanted to say is that. As we very well know, when it comes to the state playoffs and we get deep into November and also December, weather starts to turn colder and the running game becomes more and more important.
The ground game is number one in high school football, no question about that. I maintain, though, if you're going to win the big ones and against a tough teams, you have to be two-dimensional. Okay. Speaking of two-dimensional, that tackle was made by 57 Ken Leone. Right. Who has impressed me this evening.
All right, Mariski's back at quarterback. East Brunswick with the ball. Mariski's going to throw. Sprints to the right. And gathered in by Robinson, who was hit. Can't believe they didn't call that interference. Pushed out of bounds by Holmes on about the 15-yard line. Robinson was hit here, and they never even called the flag.
You would think that if the officials saw that, it should have been a flag, and then obviously East Brunswick going to take the play. But he made a great catch and with great hands right on his fingertips. And you know what else I liked about that? Robinson gave a little fake to that Sayreville crew, like he was coming back inside, and that little hesitation, and he turned it on and gave him maybe another 10 yards. Right. Well, impressive.
The success that East Brunswick has had tonight has been through the air, no doubt. So with a first down on about the 12-13-yard line, East Brunswick looking to score here. Baritsky's going to throw. Looks to the right, a little too far in the end zone.
Danilenko.
Had the right idea, but just a little too far. So they'll bring up a 2nd down.
Danilenko, yeah. 20, was that defended by 27 or 23?
Holmes. But tough to throw on this Sayreville secondary when they're expecting it.
Yes, that's true.
Holmes and Jabby. You know, Charlie, you were right. That is number 23 back there.
Kemp, I believe it is. Yeah, for Sayreville.
All right, 2nd down. Baritsky gives to Robinson on the inside, but he's nailed.
58 just wrapped him up. That's Gary Anshurtowski. Franco.
I've seen that play work for East Brunswick in the past, where an obvious passing situation and they quick give up the middle on a slant.
Didn't
But
work there.
Sayreville was ready for this one.
It didn't fool old Andushenko.
So a loss on the play brings it back to the 17-yard line. They need to get to the 12 for a first down. Check. They need to get to the 3.
3.
Maritsky, they're coming after him. He's running.
He wants to throw a screen. They call a screen pass to Mineta,
And
which...
fortunate that a penalty was not called on that. Was there anybody near that? I guess
Yes,
Mineta was.
Mineta was.
Yeah, okay.
Mineta was in the area. He had Campbell out there on the screen along with Alan Grosholt, number 62. So the screen was setting up, but Sayreville put so much pressure on Mariski that they just had to get rid of the ball. He was going to be on his back.
So you got a 4th down here.
Bears going to go.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'd kick a field goal.
You would.
Yeah. I mean,
You want to get in double figures, do you?
right. I want to get in double figures. They're not going to win this game no matter what happens, it seems to me. But
all right, triple flanker to the right. Schultz, Robinson. And a little too high for even Schultz, who stands 6'3".
he was open.
Oh, yeah, he got open.
Just a little bit high. Mariski had a little bit of time that time. Yeah, let's thank and salute that offensive line for keeping those guys out of there.
Okay, so that long pass play completion to Robinson goes for naught as East Brunswick 4 downs and out. Sayreville takes over. The ball is on the 17-yard line, so they're going to have to go 73 yards. Excuse me, 83 yards.
83. Okay, let's see what we got here.
4:54 left to go.
Same personnel for Sayreville.
Yep.
Up the middle.
And another flag. That's probably
That's a holding. That's the
about the 5th
umpire.
time that's been called tonight.
Yeah, that's the umpire who stands right in there behind the defense, behind the nose guard or whatever, and holding.
I believe that it's going to be half the distance since they're inside the 20.
Yeah, about 8-yard penalty they marked off there, maybe. About the 8-yard line, Jim, I think.
That looks like about right. So it'll be another first down for Sayreville.
Second.
Correct, I'm sorry. Huff's going to throw. Gathered in by Holmes. Did he catch that in bounds?
It was close. That was 21 Ackerman.
Yes, it
for
was.
The Bears.
What? No way. Was it or wasn't it?
Bobby Yellow, excuse me.
It was caught.
Yep. Well, that answered our question whether or not they could throw the football. That was a nice pass.
Sure was. Good
And
timing pattern.
Good timing pattern and pretty good defense on Bobby Ayala's part. Pass was right. It actually was perfect. Didn't have to come inside or turn outside. It was right on the money.
So that gets them out of trouble. Brings it up to the 40-yard line now, where Huff has a lot more room to operate. Now he's throwing again.
Oh, that's a
This is
pick
Kelsey.
play.
He's ahead of the field and brought down from behind. Now, Charlie, what do you mean by a pick play?
Well, that was 27, first of all, Brian
Oh,
Ackerman on the tackle. But what happened is
You're right.
the outside receiver, who I think was Holmes, came in and picked the defensive player like you do in basketball.
Right, right.
And 87 went outside of him, and
Is that a legal play?
no,
Oh.
it's illegal.
Okay, so I hear
The
what you're saying.
officials should have called it.
All right, so they get the ball down to the Sayreville 30-yard line.
Yeah.
First down. Give up the middle.
Oh,
Poor.
right
Wow.
up the middle.
And that is a touchdown for Mark Poor, his first of the night.
29 yards, right up the gut. Nobody touched him.
Well, Sayreville half expecting a pass. Excuse me, East Brunswick expecting a pass. 29 yards, you say?
29, Jim.
Okay, that touchdown coming at 3:46 left to go in the third period. And my question is, do we see any more of the Sayreville starting offense?
I would hope not.
This is the sophomore Kenny for the extra point.
Poor holding out of Bodak, the snapper.
He booms it through, but yet it's off to the left. So the score is 38-8 in favor of the Bombers.
Well, you know what they say, Jim. This is one of those old-fashioned whoopings so far. The Bears are...
It's kind of tough.
Yeah, that bothers me just a little bit, that last one.
Why so? Oh, because of the
they
fact
go
that
left, they go
untouched.
right, they go outside, but when they go right up the gut, nobody puts a hand on them. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know what defense it looked like our normal defense.
Are you saying that maybe the effort wasn't there?
Yes, I am. That's
Okay.
exactly what that was my view of it from up
Yeah.
here. I know
Right.
whether or not that's true. That's just one person's opinion.
Well,
But-
no, the coach is coming out of you, and my observation is, you know, I mean, this game is pretty much over with as far as who's going to win it. But, you know, when you start to, I mean, these are the times where that you can
This is
demonstrate.
where you become a better football team
Exactly.
right here.
So
Okay?
that can be more in the future.
Right.
So right now you're saying it's a little disappointing, and maybe that's just the coaches need to talk to the players and say,
Yeah,
hey,
and at the same time, it's understood that kids are going to get tired, and
Right.
they're getting beat here, getting beat up a little bit. A little late move there, but
So that kickoff brought back by Robinson, who gets up to the, looks to me like about the, again, I've had trouble all night here with these yard markers, 30-yard line. So East Brunswick will take off. Okay, quarterback now is
Mokio on the stop there. There's a uniform we haven't seen before, number 9 for Sayreville.
Mariano is in at quarterback for the Bears. Remember, he finished out the first half, looked pretty good in moving the team in that one drive.
Sophomore.
And let's see what he can do here. Runs to his right. He's got some room. And maybe passed a little too late there.
Well, something, Dan Fessel, 83, I watched, he blocked down a little bit, and he was supposed to be the deep receiver, it seems to me, and Robinson was the underneath guy.
Right.
Well, Fessel never got deep. As a result of that, there was only one receiver for Moreno to throw the ball to, and they had him covered. So
Right,
he
I
was
see what
kind
you're
of in trouble there. Good
Yep.
pursuit by Sayreville from the backside as well.
Okay, so it's 2nd down and 10 for East Brunswick. 3:27 left to go in the third quarter of play. Sayreville with a 38-8 lead. Mariano calling signals, drops back. There's a quick pass out over the head.
Dalenko.
Danolenko. So that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Now that play was pretty good on the part of the Bears because Moreno threw the ball before Danolenko turned around. And that's a timing pattern, and you better be able to throw that ball out here on a timing basis as opposed to look out and throw in the flat, because if it's picked off, it's good night. They got another score. So that's what you have to do, but Danolenko's got to get around a little quicker, I think. But the light is tough. I think it's still tough to see.
3rd and 10 for the Bears. This is Mariano. He fades to the right. He's looking for Schultz. No, Robinson.
Schultz is going like this, that I'm open. Well, we knew you were open. I could see you were open, but your quarterback is running for his life back there. In order to throw the ball, Schultz was down here 25 yards downfield. Now, in order to throw the ball accurately 25 or 30 yards, most high school quarterbacks have to stop, plant the foot, and go on.
He didn't have any time.
If
did
he stopped and planted it, he would have been planted. So, well, Mr. Schultz, I was a receiver at one point, and I love to get the ball, but I don't think your quarterback had much opportunity there to throw it 25, 30
All right,
yards.
File will punt for East Brunswick on the 4th down. Gets off a nice high spiral. And, ooh, they did not call fair catch on that. Lost the ball.
Boy, I'll tell you.
And the Sayreville blocker was there to gather it up. Numbers don't know. Well, let's
I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
You're going to hear more about Dan Fessel, the 83. Now, he was down there, made a smack on it. He's a tough kid.
Yeah.
And he almost picked up that, almost got the fumble before the Sayreville ball carrier got back on it. So
Fessel,
I'm impressed.
Yeah, Fessel coming off.
Yeah, he's tough. He's a tough guy.
Yep. By the way, that was Shane Thomas who gathered it in, fumbled it. Didn't catch the Sayreville player that recovered the fumble. But the Bombers have the ball back on their own 34. With all that passing, not too much of the clock dwindled down, so we have 2:59 left to go in the third period. Huff, is that a new quarterback we got? No, it's Dan
that's
Huff.
Huff. That's Huff, and a nice stick by Robinson, 23. Now, you see, I'm sorry, my opinion, Sayreville ought to have those guys out of the game.
Well, maybe Najjar is just waiting to the end of the third quarter.
Well, good for him. What does he want to be, 100 points so before he takes them out? I mean, I don't agree with that. I'm sorry.
Now we got a flag. What's this all about?
I don't know. Hopefully it's on Sayreville.
You know what they're calling this on? I think for the players on the Sayreville side for being in the zone. That's what they're saying.
Well, I thought, was this Disneyland or J. Doyle Field? That's a Mickey Mouse call if that's what it was, in my opinion.
You should at least warn them.
Turn around, warn them,
Yeah.
say, next time you come out here. You know, and the official, in fairness to the official, they need room to run up and down that sideline,
Yeah.
and that's where that white area is there.
Yeah.
But come on, give me a break here.
So a free 5 for the Bombers. Huff keeping it.
Stick them.
Ball is over the midfield line. Clock
80.
continues to run. It's down at the 2-minute mark now.
Tackled by 84, Aaron Horace.
Yeah, we had a little bit of threat of rain here this evening, but it's kind of held off. It's starting to get misty, but
A little heavy there.
Yeah.
I think you commented before that.
So another first down for the Bombers. They're on the East Brunswick 7-yard line. Huff at quarterback. Oh, excuse me, we got a new quarterback in there now. That's number 10.
Mark Poor.
What is he doing playing quarterback?
He moves from fullback to quarterback, and he's a heck of a runner. So I don't know if he can pass, but they don't need to pass.
Can't imagine they're going to be throwing the ball anymore. Mark Poor, as we mentioned, taking over at quarterback. He's normally the starting quarterback.
Jabby.
Up the middle.
Oh.
And finally brought down.
Minetta.
Fumble on the play. Let's see who has it. And they're going to say East Brunswick got
East Brunswick.
So Jabby, apparently before he went down, fumbled that ball. You have to believe one of the East Brunswick tacklers.
Yeah,
got the ball off him.
Minetta made the initial contact from my view, and Bobby Ayala got off the bottom. It's dark. It's for us up here, and I'm not sure that he picked it up, or Mariski was there also.
So that stops the Sayreville drive. And here come the Bears one more time. This is Mariano at quarterback. He took over for Mariski about, the last series. Give is up the middle.
Who was that, Riccio?
Yeah.
37.
Gain of about 4 on the play, 3 to 4 yards, making it 2nd and 7. Clock continues to tick down. We're under 23 seconds, and East Brunswick probably will get one more play off before the end of this quarter.
All right. Where's Riccio? Runs hard. Nice back.
Mariano. Boy, covered nicely. That
Mineta.
pitch was to Mineta, yeah.
That was number 4, Keith Simpkins for Sayreville. Nice play, as you indicated, Jim.
And that was the last play of the third quarter. The score is 38-8 in favor of Sayreville. And Charlie, this fourth quarter can't go too fast.
Well, again, there's a lot of things that can be learned here. I like the fact that Coach Borden is taking Mariski out at quarterback, and he played hard. There's nothing, that's not a negative comment. I love Mark Mariski, and I like his courage, both offensively and defensively, and he was very effective, threw some nice balls, ran the ball, runs that option, and a little fake and so forth. But again, you got a sophomore that looks to me like he can play a little bit, Morano, and this is the time to give him that opportunity to pick up some minutes. And I would assume the Bears are going to be throwing the football a little bit, and you've got you have a tight end, Danny Fessel, who I've been applauding all night here. I like his toughness. So I think that's what you have to do. Give those younger guys a chance to get a little exposure here tonight, and a little experience, and maybe Sayreville will understand that 38-8, they don't need to score any more points.
By the way, Charlie, the schedule does get somewhat kinder for East Brunswick.
East Brunswick's had a brutal start here.
I mean, next week they go against Woodbridge, which I don't know has won a game, maybe one. Okay, then the following week they'll be back here against Bishop Bar. A team that I saw last week is good, but they're certainly East Brunswick should be able to stay with them.
Right, we'll be here that evening.
Right, and then following that week, they'll be on the road again at South Brunswick, which is not having a particularly good year. And Perth Amboy is the final home game of the season. Perth Amboy hasn't
won a game, I don't believe.
Right, and then of course the Thanksgiving Day game against maybe the best team on the schedule. We don't know yet, Old Bridge.
One of the top teams in the state this year.
Yeah, it seems
we
so.
saw Coach DeMarco when we came in this evening.
He's loaded.
He's looking at Sayreville, I think.
So the Bears are going to be punting on this fourth down. That will be Mike File once more.
Doug, I believe.
Doug, yes, right.
Did I miss? Okay.
No rush. That was a fair catch that was called.
Well, that wasn't much of a fair catch signal, was it?
Yeah.
It was like, help. Or I forgot.
Gathering that in was number 4, Keith Simpkins. You mentioned it before,
right,
Charlie.
Yeah. Who made a nice play over there. That wasn't one of them right there. If you're going to fair catch it, you got to get your hand up and wave a little bit. A lot of new uniforms out there, so you were right, Jim. And he is a class coach, done a great job over there, as we said before. And he's got his fourth quarter blowout team on the field. We'll try to pick up as many numbers as we can. East Brunswick's got a lot of clean uniforms.
Yeah, they do too as well. So we should mention
yeah,
these
this is
things.
good. Yes, as many as we can.
All right, new quarterback is number 3 for Sayreville. That is Thomas.
Thomas.
Gives up the middle. And we're basically looking at the game that's going to be played on Monday afternoon, are we not?
Yeah, we're looking at a lot of it. I think that was 48, David Ruffner on the tackle for the Bears.
Other new faces in there.
37 is Riccio, who's played on offense for the Bears and a few defensive plays. We'll try to pick out some of the other ones. Of course, 83 is then on defense, Danny Fessel.
Number 53 is Greg Byrne.
Mm-hmm.
He's in there at left end.
Let's see what we can get here.
Give us up the middle.
Oof.
There's a fumble. Taken by number 3, Kessel.
Fessel, 83.
Fessel, 83.
Whoop, run over that guy.
And Mr. Fessel's having a nice little Kessel's
I told you I liked him. I mispronounced his name on the first night, and his mother gave me the know what. And she was right, and I apologized. But, boy, he's a player.
Charlie, I'm going to venture something here. Fessel is 6'1", 173. I'd like to see what his arm's like.
He's all a 6'1".
Because he seems to have a lot of athleticism.
I like it. He's tough. So he hits hard. He's playing here with seniors, and he hadn't backed off a minute. Not on one play have I seen him shy away from contact. Boy, I like that.
So you have some new receivers in for East Brunswick.
83. Let's see if we
Well,
can
Vessel's there still.
80.
There. Number 80 is the new one in. Just came in.
Tom
Ellingham.
Ellingham. And a couple new linemen. I think 55 is in there. Blaine McAvoy for East Brunswick.
Number 75 is Steve Batchelor.
75, right, we see. And we'll pick up those other numbers. I know they like to have the opportunity to play, and we'll do our best to call them, you know. Number 2, Javon Jones, I see him getting ready to go in the game for the Bears as well. So a lot of East Brunswick players getting a chance this evening in this fourth quarter. Let's see if we can pick up some of them. 21 we know is Bobby Aiello. He's been out there. Of course, Alexander's 44. 75 we mentioned, I think we mentioned Steve Batchelor.
You've got Javon Jones in the backfield as well, as well as Joe Alexander. You mentioned him.
Right.
There's Jones. Bounces off one tackler.
He doesn't want to go down. That's good. I think that was number 2. Javon Jones.
Gets about 2 yards on the play.
Also a sophomore.
We are under 10 minutes left to go in this game. Sayreville long decided this one, actually really at halftime, but now it's 38-8.
98 on the field also for the Bears, the receiver Sean O'Keefe.
Mariano throwing deep. That looked like an interference to me. Boy, he came early on him.
Intended for 80. Can you see that, Jim?
It was intended for number 80, 88 or 86? 88.
No, it's got to be 83. Danny Fessel.
Is it him?
I didn't think so, but it's hard for us to know. It looked like number 80, I guess. Or 98. We've got O'Keefe, too. Well, we'll do our best.
So you got a 3rd and 9.
Yep.
Mariano's got room to throw. I don't know if that one was there.
Now, that was the time that he should have stopped and planted his foot and worked on the accuracy a little bit there.
Right. So that'll bring up a 4th down for East Brunswick.
That was Bobby Aiello, the intended receiver, who really didn't have an opportunity to come up with that catch. Dove for it, made a valiant effort, but it just didn't happen. '80 is Ellingham for the Bears.
This is a 4th down. Mariano in a shotgun. Gets it off. Open.
Oh!
However,
he's right back up again.
yeah, that was
That's
intended
Bobby
for number
Aiello,
2. Yeah.
tough guy.
Boy, he took a shot.
He did.
So another drive for East Brunswick.
Stopped.
Stopped, yes.
And you know,
Sayreville
Bobby
will take
Aiello is, what grade is he? You see your program there, Jim?
yes. Aiello is
10th grade, is that, did I see that correctly? Yes, another 10th grader out there, sophomore. Things looking up here for the Bears.
so now Sayreville will try to take some more clock off.
Number 57 on the field for the Bears, David Schubert.
Sean Thomas at quarterback for the Bombers.
Okay, handoff on a counter.
Up the middle. Boy, they've had good success on that play.
Looks like one of those Redskins, another Redskin little counter trade there.
Right. That was Mike Asenza on the carry. Gets good yardage for a 1st down.
We got 1st down for Sayreville here, 34-yard line, Jim.
Up the middle again. That was Simpkins. Gets short yardage on the play.
Stopped by number 63 for the Bears, Dan Lack, also a 10th grader. And you see Chris Riccio calling the defensive signals, number 37 for the Bears. We have 53 in there for the Bears, Greg Byrne.
the pipe.
Pitch.
Nope. Well, this time they have it stopped.
Guess who made that tackle? 83, Dan Fessel. Along with number 48, David Ruffner.
So a rare third down situation for Sayreville. My gosh, they may have to punt if they don't make this. Have they punted tonight? I don't think they have.
I don't believe so.
That looked like a busted play. Nailed.
Oh, nailed.
That's a fumble. And it looks like East Brunswick's recovered the ball. That was a fourth down.
Right, it was fourth down.
Check, that was a third down.
You're right. Oh, right, third down. The initial hit was by 84, Jim.
Right.
Aaron Horace.
He may have come up with the ball as well.
Now, he was coming behind him. The only thing I would tell Horace is, now, we don't want to hurt anybody, son, but this is football. So you run right through him and plant that kid. He stopped and kind of reached out for him.
Right.
Boy, that's an opportunity there. Sometimes you play a whole game and never get one of those.
All right, the Bears with yet another opportunity. They would dearly like to cash in here.
Morano.
We're down to 7:32. Mariano, I don't know. Oh, he came out of the hole there.
He was buried.
Exactly. Don't know what happened. But, okay.
One quick comment, Jim.
Yeah.
You see the block of 44, Alexander?
Didn't
the
notice
captain, senior. He pounded up in there. Nice job.
Okay.
I was impressed. Well, we got 33 on for the Bears. Charles Sacco. And Charlie Sacco is an 11th grader. He's a wideout.
Mariano gives up the middle. And that was run by number 48.
Ruffner. Yeah.
Gets decent yards.
Bears are getting close here, Jim. What is that?
They're about the 4-yard line
4 or
now.
5 yard line. 5 yard line, I guess. Pretty close, yeah, 5.
They have a 2nd and goal.
Lane McAvoy, 55, was a center on that play. And
Fumble by Mariano, and that causes a disruption. He tries to get some yards to the right side. And
boy, that center quarterback snap.
yeah, that's very important.
And it's critical. If it doesn't happen, it's kind of simple, but if it's critical. If it doesn't happen, nothing goes forward.
So the ball is on the 5-yard line. Let's call it no gain on that play. 3rd down.
Right, that's Ellingham, 80, and as a wideout, actually he's a tight end.
Pitch to the left side. That's Jones, and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
It's about to 5 again.
So now we have a 4th down for the Bears. Let's see what this call will be.
Kick a field goal here, Jim. No, I don't think so. Not now. Sayreville was nice enough to take those big horses out of there.
There you go. All right, let's see. It would be an interesting call here, nonetheless.
Full house.
Mariano pitches to the right, however, well covered. And they don't get it.
Pitch to Aiello, number 21.
So that's where the drive is going to end. You know what, Charlie, interesting statistic would be to find out where and how many times drives have ended for East Brunswick and Sayreville territory. Because I know it's been a bunch.
The Bears have had their opportunities, as you point out, Jim, and a couple of those that go in, and you're talking about 38 to 20 something respectability. And not that that's not. I think the Bears have played hard, and I like to see these young guys out here getting an opportunity.
Yeah, you like to see the evidence of that on the scoreboard.
Yes. Well, you feel a lot better when the scoreboard goes up.
Up the middle, and that's number 33 for the Bombers.
48 on the tackle for the Bears. David Ruffner, who's also calling the defensive signals. There was another main tackler on that one, and I just missed that number. It looked like 98.
That was Kurt Pagoda, who carried the ball for the Bombers. First time we've called his name. Up the middle one more time.
Oh, 4.
Oh, he's off to the races, number 4, and finally slips and falls. That was Keith Simpkins.
And Schultz was, I think, going to make that tackle right there.
Okay. And they get out of trouble. First down for the Bombers. Clock will resume.
As soon as they set the change. Okay. Number 30 for the Bears is defensive back, John Park, 10th grader.
Thomas give us to the left. Number 23, Kemp.
48 in on the tackle, along with 98. Of course, 48 is the calling the signals at this point, Ruffner, and 98 is Sean O'Keefe. I also want to mention the fact that number 12 is on the field for the Bears, a defensive back, Warnicki.
Okay. Give us up the middle.
I was looking for the sweep thing.
Nah, they would do well not to sweep. I don't.
No, I agree with you, but
just
it
need
looked
to
to
keep
me
the
they were
ball right
gonna-
up the middle.
I think that was 31, Jeffrey Heilman, in on that stop.
Okay.
We were talking to, I guess it must be his grandfather, the former assistant athletic director at Rutgers at halftime, an outstanding man and a real class guy. The times that I was here and had an opportunity to work on a basketball tournament at Rutgers with Mr. Heilman, he is one of the outstanding individuals in this entire area.
It is third down for the Bombers. Oh,
Keep.
and there he is to the outside, Charlie.
Yes. And tackled by number 31, Jeffrey Heilman. Again.
They get a first. I don't know what to say.
Clock is running now. That's, I guess they set those chains pretty quick. We're under 2 minutes.
Ball is resting on the East Brunswick 47-yard line.
The thing you don't want to happen right now, if I'm on the sideline at coaching, I don't want them to score.
Okay.
You know.
But I agree with you.
And you got your guys out there to give them a chance to play, which is great, but they don't want them to score either. Heilman on a blitz.
Oh, nice play there.
Was that, no, that was number 30, excuse me.
Yes.
That wasn't Heilman. That was John Park, who came right up the middle for the Bears. And I don't know how big Park is, but
all 5'5", 131 pounds.
is that what it is? 5'5", 131 pounds. Nobody saw him, I guess. He was quick, though. He was in the backfield.
And East Sayreville, a rare loss on the play. We're getting close to under a minute to play in the game. 38-8. Sayreville well in charge here, as they have all night. There's another give up the middle. That one goes nowhere. And there's Park again.
There's Park in there on the stop, along with a couple other guys getting off the bottom of that pile. Number 98, O'Keefe. He was right there.
And we could be looking at the last play of the game coming up right here. 3rd and 17.
'57, Schobert. I don't know if I mentioned his name. Schubert, I guess is pronounced.
Can you say take a knee?
They got the Pacharczyk play on there, when the Giants and the Eagles. Remember that?
Yeah, oh yes. And that was the last play of the game. Sean Thomas taking a knee for Sayreville as we run down 2-1. And that is going to do it. The final score, thought I'd never be able to say that. East Brunswick losing to Sayreville 38-8 as they shut the scoreboard down. I'm glad I wrote that
Down quickly there.
Yeah. Charlie, we're going to dispense with recapping the scoring again. Haven't said it a couple of times, but I'll give you an opportunity to make a 30-second comment.
30-second comment. Well, I liked a lot of the things that I saw tonight in the Bears. I think that Sayreville's a better football team, plain and simple. But when I see kids playing hard, and it was only on that one series I think I made a comment, and I hesitated to making the comment, but in fact, that run up the middle disturbed me as a coach, if you will, and a spectator. Other than that, the Bears played with enthusiasm. They did some good things. They're not as good as Sayreville. I don't care what you say. And if they played 10 times, I think that Sayreville would win 10 times. But to their credit, Bears played hard, and I think have improved since I've seen them the last time.
Right. And that's going to bode well for the future for this team. By the way, that was 1 minute and 7 seconds. No.
Okay.
Anyway, the final score this evening was Sayreville 38, East Brunswick 8. For Charlie King, this is Jimmy Allinder saying thanks for being with us.